Hi, this is Amy. Welcome today to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a simple cayenne pepper recipe that I'm going to try for some minor aches and pains that I have. I've been kind of curious if this actually works. What I'm showing you is something that I'm actually trying on my own body. It's not meant to be medical advice or a replacement for going to the doctor. It's just a recipe I'm sharing with you, and we will go ahead and get started. The jar I'm using in this video is actually an 8-ounce jar, and that's what you see pictured here. I actually only filled it halfway full because I am just experimenting and trying this to see if it actually helps, and so I decided not to actually do the full recipe. So what figures and amounts I'm giving you in this video are what I used in this video. The next thing that I did is poured a half a cup of castor oil into the glass jar and started measuring out the cayenne pepper, which will be 1.5 teaspoons. The next step was to add the 1.5 teaspoons of cayenne pepper to the oil in the glass jar. And the next step, I used a wooden dowel, which I typically use anytime that I am making a liquid recipe. And I stirred the cayenne and the castor oil together. And then I measured out a tablespoon of my beeswax. Next, I added the beeswax to the oil and the cayenne pepper and stirred it in also. I did not have this included in the supply list, but I decided to add 5 drops of vitamin E oil to this because it acts like a preservative. So I went ahead and put 5 drops of it into the oil. I like to use the double boiler method. I just place about 1 inch of water in the bottom of an old pan, and then I stir it often until the beeswax is totally melted. Once I see that the wax has melted, I then remove the pan from the burner and set it aside for a moment. While the jar is still hot, I will place the lid back on the jar before I place it back into the refrigerator. I always set my jars that need to be cooled on a paper towel when I'm placing them in the refrigerator, and I will let this sit for about an hour and I will come back and check on it. So when I checked on the oil after about an hour, I noticed that the oil and the cayenne pepper had separated, so I went ahead and stirred it again with my wooden dowel. After I stirred it, I did place it back into the refrigerator. I personally plan to store mine in the refrigerator. If you choose to store it outside of the refrigerator, you might want to think about getting an amber colored glass instead of the clear glass, unless you're going to keep it in a dark location. That's up to you. I think it'll feel really nice with it being cool with the hot pepper, when I apply it. A couple things I want to recommend is to always do a patch test before you place any oils, any essential oils, anything like that on your skin, and do that on the inside of your arm. Just a little space, just to make sure that you are not allergic to it or have any kind of reaction to it before applying it wherever it is you're going to be using it on your body. Do not put this on any open wounds, only on like sore muscles, joints, bruising, that type of thing, without any open sores. And do not put this around your eyes or in your eyes because it will burn. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do use this recipe, I'd love to hear from you and see what your thoughts are. And I plan to respond and let you know what my thoughts are when I'm trying it. Thanks again for stopping by. And until the next time, you have a good one.